So the overview of gathering. Rock splitting yields the highest rate of fossils, panning yields the highest rate of semi-precious stones, digging yields the highest rate of artifacts. Overall, fossils and stones are equally common, while artifacts are the rarest category of item. The next section of skill is imbuing. In stage 2 of the geomancy skill, you will infuse your fossils, stones, and artifacts with astral powers. You need to bring your hand scope obtained during the quest. I don't know which quest. I think they mean the quest to unlock geomancy, as well as plenty of small stones to an appropriate location for stargazing. These locations are denoted by shimmering patches of starlight shining down on a stone pedestal. As you learned during the quest, pedestals are found where star shines big and bright. Some of the locations include Ice Mountain, White Wolf Mountain, Eagle's Peak, Lunar Island, Cosmic Altar, and several locations in the wilderness. Once at these locations, you must first place the item you want to imbue in the center of the pedestal. Around outside the pedestal, there are 7 smaller depressions. You need to place a small stone in each of these places, and then you use your hand scope on the patch of starlight to begin stargazing. You'll be presented with a view of 7 stars that correspond to 7 small depressions on the outside of the pedestal. The star will pulse, grow distinctly brighter, then fade at random order. You must memorize and then duplicate the pattern, touching the corresponding stones on the pedestal in the same order. If the pattern is successfully reproduced, the item will be imbued with power, and the Geomancy XP will be rewarded. Star patterns for low-level objects will be short, 4 to 5 pulses, while high-level objects may be longer and more difficult sequences, perhaps up to 15 long. If a player fails to correctly reproduce the sequence, a new random pattern will be generated. For some of the high-level artifacts, small stones must be replaced with kind of unimbued semi-precious stones. The level required to imbue an item is the same as the level it required to clean the item. So for example, that's basically saying you put an item in the middle of this stone pedestal, so for example a helmet, and then you have to put stones around the outside, and when you look at it, it will do a little pattern with the way the stars blink, and then you have to copy the same pattern, which I think is a bit similar to an old game called Simon Says. Once you've done that, it will imbue it. If you don't do it, it will do a different pattern, and presumably if you fail it, say 3 times, it might destroy the item. If it doesn't, then then you could just have a lot of them. It doesn't really punish you that much if you fail. So these pictures I'm assuming this is like the telescope which you have to look at, and this is the stone pedestal, so this is an example. So you put the item in the middle, and then you've got the stones around the outside. And at this telescope, there's a star that's pulsing. So that's one that you have to sort of click on to have to repeat the pattern. The Simon Says style thing. So the spiral fossil, you get cleaning XP with 4, sequence length will be 4 little patterns, and the XP for imbuing is 8. The function of a spiral fossil is to revive. It produces ancient snails which are stackable, useful in a potion that raises geomancy and as fishing bait, so you can use them as fishing bait. Moth fossils, you can revive them. Their function is revive. It produces an ancient moth which can be released for status effects or used in potions. A crustacean fossil, using this imbued fossil on any net, bait, fishing spot, will allow the user to, with at least 37 fishing, to net stone crabs for 2 minutes. So you use it on a fishing spot and you can get special fish for 2 minutes. You must have ancient snails as bait to do this. Stone crabs can be used to make crab biscuit. So that's just a food, I assume. Herb fossils. With 43 farming, this imbued fossil can be planted in a herb patch to produce ancient thyme, used to make a potion that raises geomancy at 47 herb lore. The paw print fossil. You can use the revive function, which conjures a dreadwolf who will join the user in battle in any multi-combat zone. So I guess that's a bit like summoning, where you can summon a dreadwolf. A leaf fossil. Use on any dead tree to transform it into a ginkgo tree. Ginkgo trees can be cut with 55 wood cutting for ginkgo logs. Once the tree has been depleted, ginkgo roots can be harvested, after which a stump will remain, which will eventually spawn a new dead tree. The tooth fossil. Revive. The function is revive. You conjure a saber cat who will aid the user in battle in any multi-combat area up to 5 minutes. Fish fossil. Used on any cage or harpoon fishing area, and the user with 74 fishing can harpoon Ichthyosaurus, or whatever that is, for 3 minutes. Skull fossil. So you can use the revive on this. It conjures a waith or a right. It looks like it says what right, but I think it's waith. Who will aid the user in combat for up to 6 minutes. While this creature is summoned, the user's prayer points will be drained slightly more quickly than usual. Small stones are used to imbue items. Quartz will unleash enemy energy, randomly boost farming, hunter, mining, and woodcutting by up to 1 to 3 levels. Quartz can be used to imbue some lesser artifacts. Yellow garnets. Use this to imbue stone on any farming patch to reduce growing time by 1 cycle. That sounds pretty useful, but hopefully you'd be limited, because it would be strange if you could just do it instantly. The amount of experience you could get would be ridiculous, especially on trees. If you just had lots of yellow garnets and you just did it all on trees. Anyway, turquoise stones. It unleash energy, which randomly boosts fishing, herb lore, agility, and thieving by 1 to 3 levels. Turquoise can be used to imbue some mid-level artifacts. A red garnet. Unleash energy. Reduces damage from all fire spells by 20% and provides immunity to dragon breath for 4 minutes. I kind of like that idea, but I think it seems a bit OP, not too sure. Jasper stone. Unleash energy. Randomly boosts crafting, smithing, rune crafting, and construction by 1 to 3 levels. Jasper can be used to imbue high-level artifacts. Amethyst. This imbued stone can be dropped on the ground and teleported back to within 2 minutes. So it's a bit like a drop stone or a lodestone in dungeoneering. There's a 50% chance that the stone will disintegrate upon teleporting to it. Otherwise, you can pick it up, presumably. Amethyst can be used to imbue very powerful artifacts. A green garnet. Unleash energy. Increases earth spell damage by 30% for 2 minutes. So I kind of like the idea of increasing your magic, especially because some people can play that high level magic is actually quite low damage, at least in the standard spellbook. Amber. Using this imbued stone on a tree stump will cause the tree to respawn immediately. That could be quite good. I'm assuming it'd be good if it didn't have a lot of logs straight away. So if you actually wait, it's more beneficial, but it's just to help boost. Blue garnet. Unleash energy. Provides 2 minutes of immunity to poison, binds, and freezing. So that just makes you a god, basically. Attacks on any combat style have a 5% chance of causing freezing or poisoning or lowering defense. So I think that means you can poison people, so you're like a god. That is amazing. Obsidian. This imbued stone can be crafted into arrowheads, bolt tips with a chisel once fletched. These projectiles have a 15% chance of causing target to bleed for 2 to 4 rounds of combat. A bleeding victim will randomly lose 1 to 3 hit points per turn. Base power is similar to rune arrow, so it's just a really high level arrow, I guess. Moonstone. With 88 crafting, this imbued stone can be used with a blorite bar and ring mold to create moonstone ring. I like the fact they're using blorite. This ring can be operated once every 6 hours and will cause the user's stats to be modified by a random amount from -5 to 10. After 8 uses, it degrades to Moonstone U, which was an unimbued version, which you get when you originally find it. With 92 crafting, this imbued stone can be used with a blurite bar and an amulet mold to create Moonstone amulets, stats +4 to all attack and defense categories, +6 to strength, and +8 to prayer. Sounds really good, but it is very high level. Hit points will naturally restore twice as fast, which is 3 times as fast when you turn on rapid heal. And there's more. Oh, gosh. Ancient helmets. Half helm of the second age, which provides quality defense against all combat styles. Ancient swords. A short sword from the second age, which ignores protect from melee and any defense boosting prayers or potions. Stats slightly above that of rune, requiring 50 attack. Sounds like a good idea, but will it work in PvP or what? That's a bit unsure. Ancient cloth. Used with stone needle to craft second age ranged armor. 2 pieces and 69 crafting to make second age coif. 3 pieces and 76 crafting to make second age chaps. 5 pieces and 83 crafting to make second age jerkin. Ancient mace. A mace of the second age which ignores protect from melee and any negative effects, attack or strength stats the wielder may have. Not terribly powerful, but fast and accurate. Requires 50 attack. And you can imbue using quartz. Ancient sling. A ranged weapon similar in speed, power, and accuracy to a maple shortbow with adamant arrows. Using small stones as ammunition. 2 combat modes, accurate and rapid. Accurate has a 25% chance of throwing 2 projectiles at once at the same target, whilst rapid is capable of hitting 5 enemies in a 3x3 square in multi-combat zones. Sounds a bit strange, but slightly useful if you're getting attacked by multiple people. Imbued using quartz. Ancient wand. Allows Earth Blast and Earth Wave to be cast only with deaths and blood runes. 12 attack. It gives you a 12 magic attack, 3 magic defense, and requires 50 magic and 40 geometry to wield. And that's imbued with quartz again. An ancient axe, a wood-cutting tool of the second age that may cause some logs to be harvested directly as planks when used on the tree. Those whose wood can be made into planks. Wood-cutting efficiency that of a rune and dragon hatchet, and 55 wood-cutting is required. So sounds like when you cut trees, you get planks. I really like that idea, actually. Though I hope that the axe is quite hard to get. Next one, a primal hammer. Allows fragments of ancient artifacts to be repaired on an anvil. 5% chance of saving a bar when smithing anything required 3 or more bars. Imbued using turquoise. With 70 helmet fragment, with 77 smithing and a primal hammer, you can be repaired into a second age full helmet. Requires 65 defense. The completed full helmet must be imbued with a jasper. Shield fragment. With 84 smithing and a primal hammer, you can be repaired into a second age square shield, which requires 65 defense, and the completed shield must imbued with jasper. A sword fragment. With 90 smithing and a primal hammer, you can repair it into a second age sword, which requires 65 attack, and that's imbued with a jasper again. Ominous emblem. Once imbued, this emblem can be strung on a ball of wool to make an amulet of doom. It gives 17 strength and attack bonuses. It gives +7 to all defense categories. If the player missing his opponent, he will lose a random amount of hit points. So if you miss the opponent when you're fighting, you lose a random amount of hit points and prayer points from 0 to 5, which can be imbued with amethyst. And finally, a mystic necklace. It has no description, but it's imbued with amethyst. I don't know whether it's going to do nothing or I like the idea. Like that. Took a long time to read that though.